All right, so it's been a while since I made a semen retention video, but I'm back with it. I hit year four. No, I'm about to hit year four in August of this year, year four on semen retention. Um, so I figured I might as well. I'm probably gonna make a update year four once it hits August, which is in about like 2, 3 weeks. Yeah, I mean, year four on semen retention. Feel me? It's been an up and down journey. But let me tell you about some of the dangers of retention, especially this one thing that you do that could almost ruin the entire, man, not even just semen retention. It could ruin the entire self-improvement journey if you mess this up. But, when you're on semen retention, things start to flow. When life, it's all about building momentum towards things. It's all about doing the little things every day, building that momentum, and then eventually getting to a point where you can enter that flow state. But a lot of people get that confused with letting their brains go on autopilot. See, the number one dangerous thing to do on NoFap and semen retention is allowing your mind to drift, allowing your mind to drift off and thinking you can just move on autopilot because, yeah, you're doing this very powerful and very potent, very, good spiritual practice, you know. But the thing is you could still end up going right back to where you were and even worse. This is what happened to me, and I'm going to share my experience with it. See, you got to understand, you got to keep your foot on the gas. I explained this a little while ago that on semen retention, you cannot allow your mind to drift. That when you are on self improvement, when you do these spiritual practices, when you gain more wisdom, when you actually apply things to your life and really enter this new level and new frequency, enter this new sort of not godhood, but you start to realize that, yeah, you're governed by a higher spirit. You start to listen to that spirit. You got to understand that when you get further into that, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to get in your way. And you're going to think that you have it all down packed and that you think that you know it all. But the demons are still looming, right? They're just waiting for the right moment for you to slip up. Then they can attack you and infiltrate you and snatch you up, body snatch you, whatever, right? And this is how it usually ends up going. Once you become spiritual, once you start to understand that there's a much more deeper world around you, you never go back. You never go back. No matter if you start doing bad habits again or everything. You feel me? See, the problem with me was I thought that I knew it all. So I was doing all these spiritual practices. And then I was like, okay, now I can sort of start doing worldly third dimensional things again. But now with this newfound spiritual knowledge, I'll be fine. Like I won't slip up. I won't fall into this trap. But you got to realize the demons is very powerful. This is how people end up getting stuck. This is how people end up falling off by taking their foot off the gas. You got to realize that the flesh is naturally evil. That's the most important thing I learned in this life is the flesh is naturally evil. When people say follow your heart, that's following the flesh. That's why it's not good to follow your heart. It's good to follow your spirit because when you follow your heart naturally, ever since, Eve, bit that apple, right? With the Adam and Eve story, all these evil spirits went into the world and humans just naturally adopted to it and chose man over God. So naturally, that's why you see all these sinful things going on in this world. And a lot of people, yeah, they know it, but they can't really help themselves to not sin. You know what I mean? Including myself, right? I'm not perfect. This is why God created repentance. This is why God allowed Jesus to die on the cross and resurrect himself to allow people to be forgiven, for their sins. You feel me? But when it comes down to the worldly things, right, the flesh is naturally evil. It's going to do all the wrong things, especially if you let your mind drift. This is why you have to sort of be present 24/7. You cannot allow your mind to drift off into other worlds and other thoughts because it's all about keeping that zen, keeping yourself intact. This is why meditation is really important. I stopped meditating because people in my ear were telling me, oh, meditation is demonic and stuff like that. You can meditate as long as you have some higher spirit that's governing you. Because if you try to go on your own, you're going to naturally do all the evil things. The demon's going to take a hold of you. And you're going to naturally do all the evil things that is going to throw you off your path. It's going to make you depressed. It's going to completely ruin your journey. And it's even worse because you know what you're supposed to be doing. So it makes it, that on top of that makes it 10 times worse. That's what happened in my experience, right? When I slip up watching porn or when I don't do the work that I'm supposed to, when I don't do my spiritual work, when I just lay in bed all day. There's something that eats away at you, that something that tells you like, yo, you get that feeling inside that's like, ah man, like man. And then you start to go through things in your real life that make you think like, damn, I really should have did this. This shit crazy. This is how life works. This is how life goes down. It sucks, but this is how the life is, bro. This is how the world is. You know what I'm saying? And this is why you have to keep staying in that present moment 24/7. You cannot allow your mind to drift off. You have to constantly, when I say be in your head, I don't mean overthink, but you have to constantly monitor your thoughts. And you have to constantly monitor what your inner voice is telling you versus what your spirit is telling you. You understand me? And that's the difference between that good and that evil, right? That brain power to really resist, that's what's going to be the main difference maker, the X factor between if you have a good life or sinful life, a good afterlife or a hellful afterlife. You know what I mean? So it's all about that. When it comes down to spiritual semen retention and your spiritual journey in general, those types of things, it get real potent, man. It get real deep. It's not even the surface of it. We barely even scratched the surface. There's a lot more to be learned, and I want to gain more wisdom. I'm really trying to dedicate myself to gaining more wisdom and actually applying it. Because when you have wisdom and don't apply it, it's just intellect. You know, that's what I had for a long time. I just had intellect where I wasn't really applying it. And then I started to apply it. And now here we are. You know, you guys see what I've been doing. You guys, you know, we're in this journey together, man. I mean, we just keep on going and we just keep on grinding. With semen retention, you have to really watch because there's a lot of programming out there, especially now. There's a lot of outlets that the devil has created to knock you off your path. Social media, all this technology, you know, the robots, Mark of the Beast, all of these things. It's going to knock you off your path. And honestly, it's going to get to you at some point, but you just really got to hold on, and you'll start to realize, okay, like this shit'll be all worth it in the end. Like you have to maintain that hope, and that's kind of what I've been on lately, maintaining that hope, realizing like, yo, like, you know, we still in this, you know, the fight's not even close to over. So we just got to keep going. You know, sometimes I did feel like giving up and being like, man, F this spiritual stuff. You know, you start to get mad and be like, F this spiritual stuff. I'm just going to do what I want to. But that's just going to make you go down a dark path, man. Especially if you have a strong ego like I did, where it was kind of like, okay, like, yeah, this person's telling me this, but I don't care. I'm going to do this instead. Free will. And that's why I say you got to be governed by a higher spirit, because if you just go on free will, that leads to death. Because naturally you will sin, which leads to the death. And since you already were living a sinful life that you thought was fun, that the devil tricked you into thinking was fun, well, now you're in the afterlife and it's bad for you. You're going to end up down below. I'm not trying to scare people, obviously, but you know, this is the ultimate goal that we know at the end of the day. We're not going to just pretend like this ain't the goal, you know? But yeah, at the end of the day, it's all on you. You got to choose between that good and that evil. Like, yeah, the evil, they have to use trickery, they have to use methods because they know evil is evil. When you operate in the spirit of love, when you operate with the spirit's word, really nothing can stop you. And a lot of people know that, but you know, they take that other side because it's tempting, right? So you just got to really watch out for that. That's really it. But yeah, I'm gonna just end the video off there, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Short video. Didn't want to make this too long because I just ordered some pizza and I'm about to go eat it. You feel me? I'm hungry. But yeah, man, I'm gonna mess with y'all, man. Catch y'all next one. Love you guys.